Exactly. I think whoever wins is going to be, have a good shot. As we are now into champion select as well. We're going to see how good they are, and here's time to battle on the Rift.
It is time to get into picks and bans of our grand final, game number 1, and right away, Rise and Mordekaiser taken off the board.
Yeah, Rise and Mordekaiser Rise, one of FeifeiFAN's, pocket picks up in the top lane. Mordekaiser was played by AS7 all game. Vladimir taken away from Soolgi as well. You see a lot of these bans are more targeted bans. We've seen a couple of meta bans recently, but these are all fully target bans. Another ban towards raDiEnt there, getting him off the Echo, getting on something a little bit more uncomfortable. Interesting, Irelia and Olaf are both still left up, who are boosted garbage in AS7's top tier picks, and they've been banned away every game in the series so far.
Yeah, but Yoxiourn not going to be able to get that Nautilus. It was a monster in game number 1, so I'm not surprised to see that taken away. That does mean a comfort pick will be going over to Kelvin Grove. I'm curious
they have to ban
who
the
it will
Irelia.
be.
They have to ban. They can't let him have Irelia. He's like literally one trick. They will.
No, they're going to get rid of the Xerath. So that last ban being focused more on raDiEnt. So that's 2 mid bans, 1 top ban. AS7 now has that priority pick. I'm curious if he's going to take it for himself in the top lane, and it is that insta-lock Irelia.
Yeah, AS7 has 238 games of Irelia in solo queue, so he's definitely what we'd call a one-trick in League of Legends, which is when you only play one champion. See, a quick answer back grabbing the Vayne and the Sejuani as well, one of the S-tier junglers for which one in the jungle there.
Yeah, but that also leaves the Olaf open, so
which is a big counter to Sejuani as well, since your Ragnarok cancels the Glacial Prism. So allowing boosted garbage in AS7 to have their comfort picks, and then also letting having a good jungle matchup as well is definitely leaving more to be desired.
Yeah, I feel as if Calamvale should have scouted Kelvin Grove by this stage, so they should know that these are champions these players like. I'm assuming that means there is a plan. Katarina! That's a surprise.
I mean, raDiEnt's played a little bit of Katarina before you, so in the Somerset series, he has got 2 of his more prominent picks out, but Malzahar is a good counter to the Katarina. I do like the Malzahar pick. I still think this Olaf is going to get more and more value there the more teamfight ultimates you stack. A lot of damage right now, not a lot of CC. So if you want a heavy CC support and you want a heavy utility AD carry, something like an Ezreal maybe, or like a Xayah even as well, not focus so much on damage, but more focusing on getting some CC, getting some lockdown, maybe an Ashe would be a good stock for NUBBYBUB. Looks like we might be changing up the picks, so Jaxos over here by FeifeiFAN.
Is that, I'm not sure if that's going to be able to go through. I think you have to take what has been hovered, so a bit of a bait right there. The Sejuani should be locked in.
Yeah, Jax is a big counter matchup into the Irelia. Jax is so strong since there's nothing the Irelia can do into you once you pop your counter strike. And if she uses her dashes up, she's just unable to really beat you. And at no stage in the game does Irelia beat Jax, since Jax is one of your late game scaling monsters. And Irelia, just her kit doesn't really work against Jax too effectively.
That said, though, it should mean Jax will probably be getting banned away in this second phase, as we are finally nearly caught up. Actually, the Katarina's locked in, so Malzahar will get locked in, and then we will hit our second ban phase. Finally, we're going to see where these teams are going to go. Obviously, supports have yet to be locked in. We haven't seen a real bot lane at all, actually, out of Kelvin Grove, but we haven't seen the top lane yet from Calamvale.
I mean, we have got woobi on the Vayne, right? Woobi's, one of those key carry players that Calamvale have gone with, and I think having that the Vayne available for woobi means he is like one of those key carry potentials. So making sure you're banning out AD carries that have lane presence, so like Kayle and Xayah, Ezreal are kind of the bans you want to take off the board, or champions you don't want to have to play with. So getting them off the board, giving yourself a winning bot lane matchup, getting a really strong support to help support this Vayne into the late game, I think that's a very viable winning strategy. Katarina and Irelia will fall off the later the game goes. This is the nature of like assassins, right? Mid game they're going to be very powerful, but as long as they can get through that stage, they should be okay.
That they should, but the Jax unfortunately will be taken away, so we won't be seeing FeifeiFAN on that. He's going to have to look elsewhere. Darius also banned, so no tier 2 bans actually put towards Yoxiourn, who, still had some very strong performances even when he was not on that Nautilus. Like, he is a great support. That said, he's going to be given the Lulu this time around. I'm a little disappointed in that. I would have liked to see him on something a bit more engaging. I wouldn't have minded seeing the Braum. I wouldn't mind seeing the Blitzcrank even. I
mean, especially since the Kai'Sa Alistar for Kelvin Grave's up. That's one of their favorite bot lanes. NUBBYBUB loves playing his Kai'Sa, and Alistar's one of the best champions for Sponkle to set up for the Kai'Sa with the double plasma stacks immediately applied off the headbutt pulverize. You've also got the fact that Sponkle's Alistar has 65% win rate over a couple hundred games, which is a big thing. And into the Vayne Lulu, once you go in, it's very hard to really do anything. Maybe switching up to a Braum though, which I think the Alistar would have been much stronger, but I do like this Braum as more of a supportive pick.
Yeah, I'm curious about the Braum as well, just because I'm not really seeing a lot of that projectile poke, perhaps coming out of Calamvale. That said, you know, blocking a key condemn or that third silver bolt could be quite strong from Sponkle. And Braum, he does a lot of work. He can do a lot of damage. And Fiora is going to be our answer to this Irelia.
Okay, Fiora's actually not too bad. If FeifeiFAN can play it properly, it's actually not a terrible answer. Fiora's decent into Irelia, since you can pretty much always riposte the cast time on the Vanguard's, what's it called, the Vanguard's Blades or something like that?
Vanguard's Edge?
The Vanguard's Edge is the ultimate. It's the stun, which is... The stun, yeah. Irelia's stun has a long enough cast time for you to channel your riposte, which means you'll be immune to the CC and potentially then to stun on the Irelia. I mean, your ultimate as well could be quite effective. There's no more disarm, so you should be able to get the stacks since Irelia wants to dash around you, and so you have access to a lot of those vitals. Actually, it's just going to come down to how good FeifeiFAN is actually at the Fiora and how mechanically he can pull off what he wants to do. I think in the side lane, the Fiora does win. Fiora gets stronger the later the game goes, and it's very similar to that Jax. I just worry for their bot side. I think they've drafted a very heavy teamfight comp with the Sejuani, the Vayne, and the Malzahar, and I think with a 1-4, they don't have a strong enough wave clear in that bot lane to kind of support having that side laner.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Calamvale react coming out of this pick and van phase. I definitely feel as if Kelvin Grove have the easier team composition to build around and to act around and to execute, but Calamvale still has a lot of damage of their own. I'm looking at Vayne Lulu, and yes, it might struggle in lane, but if they can get through that laning phase, get Vayne onto the Rift with a couple items with the Braum on that support, it's actually going to be a very deadly champion. Almost
definitely. It's going to be very, very difficult, for this Vayne to... I'm sorry, for KG4 to win these late-game team fights if they fully get online, right? Fiora, late-game scale, super hard. Vayne, late-game scale, super hard. And the Malzahar as well, if that lockdown.
Yeah, definitely. Soolgi as well with the wave clear and just the one-on-one ability from a late-game Malzahar as well. It does a deceptive amount of damage, especially if he is going to opt for that hard AP build. That said, we are now officially on the Rift. This is our grand final. We started in February. We end it here now. Kelvin Grove on the blue side, Calamvale on the red side, and we open us up with a line of scrimmage.
And there we go, the classic, simple setup across the board. Don't want any funny business going on for either teams in this grand final. This is game one of the best of three. The winner of this will be the Queensland League of Legends High School Championship champion.
Yep.
And of course, the best team in the state and be off to nationals.
Yeah, a lot on the line, and as a result, kind of safe play, safe-ish starts from each side. Interesting positioning of Witch1 and FeifeiFAN. They're actually throwing Witch1 all the way to the top. I think they were possibly expecting another one of those five-man plays out of Kelvin Grove, perhaps, as a result, but no one will get spotted this time, so it will be cross-map starts for each of these junglers, each of them opting to start on their red buff. Not too surprising there, but it does mean that the junglers won't really be tracking each other.
Yeah, interesting ward as well from the bot lane there, putting a little ward over the Dragon Pit wall. I like the start from Sejuani as well, pathing towards that red side full clear, which is definitely, stronger early on. I mean, I think this mid lane is going to be a big matchup difference as well, right? Katarina is not very strong into Malzahar as a traditional laner, but once you can start snowballing on a cat, we know how strong one of those can be. We've all had a game where Katarina's got 1 kill mid, 2 kills bot, and then the game's pretty much over once she gets that Hextech Gunblade. So until then, Katarina is quite strong in the meta, one of the SD picks in the mid lane, but I think Malzahar's a decent matchup into it, and how well Soolgi can neutralize raDiEnt on one of these more aggressive picks is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it definitely will be, especially because with Katarina and Olaf, there's really not a lot of crowd control that will be available to shut Soolgi down.
Yeah.
So, as a result, I'm actually going to be expecting boosted garbage to perhaps be looking more to the bot or the top side of the map, which is unfortunate because Katarina is going to need that help. I feel as if unless raDiEnt can make things happen on his own, he might actually struggle through the early and mid game.
Another interesting thing is raDiEnt has cleanse, which is usually what you take against heavy CC, but a little thing for everyone at home, you can't actually CC either Polymorph or a Malzahar suppression either. So summon a spell, I mean, you can definitely use it to get rid of the Sejuani or the stun from the Fiora, but besides that, not much you can use the cleanse for.
No, cleanse is actually not useful against Malzahar. That's usually a mistake you see at low elo after that tooltip came out. It's like, oh, you should take cleanse against Malzahar. Actually, yes, please do. I play Malzahar, so take cleanse against me. It won't do you any good post level 6. But until we get to that stage, it's actually been raDiEnt who has been taking it to Soolgi at the moment. You know, definitely harassing with the use of those bouncing blades.
I mean, personally, I've played a lot of Malzahar this season. One of the champions have a positive winner on, but we'll ignore that. But you know, Malzahar, you can't really do anything until you get your Lost Chapter. You run out of a lot of mana, but once he gets that Lost Chapter and gets post 6, the all-in opportunities that Katarina has are very, very limited. And once he gets maybe a stopwatch or that Luden's Echo completed, then Malzahar will be very strong. So he can coming top side.
Kane coming in top. FeifeiFAN in a bit of trouble. Is able to repost the stun, but boosted garbage is there. They do force out the flan. FeifeiFAN still trying to do what he can, possibly trying to bait them underneath the tower. Not going to bite it is boosted garbage, who will walk away.
A little bit of an earlier poster from FeifeiFAN. I don't know if he knows, but when you actually see the second E come down from Irelia, in the time it gets placed, in the time that the stun actually goes off, you have enough time to press your boss.
raDiEnt could be in a bit of trouble, but which one isn't able to get the follow-up damage there? So no stun will be coming down. A good little escape from raDiEnt. No flashes used as well. Nice, safe Katarina play.
Yeah, which one actually missed his second long slash on the W there, which meant he was denied one of his frozen stashes and unfortunately couldn't get the permafrost down quite as quickly. And you know, as a result, keeps all summers intact and just simply walks out of that one.
I actually feel which one as well should be looking more to the top side for these plays, just because that's where the only other melee champion is for Calamvale. More reason why I would have liked to see something perhaps like the Blitzcrank or one of those hook melee champions coming out of Calamvale so they can help enable which one on the Sejuani. It's going to be a bit harder with the Lulu and a Vayne to really getting fought. Mid lane as well, we've already seen how slippery Katarina can be, so it really limits where which one can go.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think... I mean, this Katarina does have a lot of damage to instantly burst out the Vayne and the Lulu if she does choose to run bot side, I think, later into the game. I think the top side as well, AS7 on this Irelia is just so strong. He's played so many games that I think it's just so comfortable for him that he's, you know, almost surprised that he'd get to pick it in this stage. I don't think he's been allowed Irelia, you know, since the very first game that KG4 played. You know, if you look at his solo, you say, oh, well, they've got one player who's Diamond 2, oh, it's his most played champion. You'd never let him have that. But, I mean, obviously they've looked to ban towards other members, but I think KG4's pools in general are just so deep that it's very hard to actually ban them out completely. And letting both their jungler and their top laner, two of their most important players, onto their main champions is maybe a drafting mistake, but we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, again, it makes me think Calamvale might have some secret plan to counter it. When we're looking at these team comps, maybe it is that Fiora. I'm not too sure as which one, once again, coming to the top side. AS7 has to be a bit careful. A couple more autos and you get the stun, but here comes the re-engage off the ultimate. Stunned by sometimes FeifeiFAN with the riposte, is not able to connect. AS7 in a bit of trouble. Chilling Snipe has been dropped onto him, but he will not be going down this time. Taking a look at the mini-map, boosted garbage making his way up as well, is possibly going to try and chase down which one, but which one kind of sniffs it out and should be able to escape. Will we see that Tithe, though? Boosted garbage sticking around on the top side.
I mean, you can see, you know, AS7's Irelia prowess in that team fight there. You know, 2v1, almost got the kill on both of them, if not one of them. Just playing so well around the Vanguard's edge and using those dashes effectively, not wasting any Qs like I would and accidentally queuing to the wrong target twice and then getting your Q reset and being unable to move and then getting caught out. Using the flash as well to perfectly dodge the riposte as well as the Sejuani W as well and then deny the permafrost dash is very good overall from AS7.
Yeah, good mechanical play coming out of this top lane Irelia. As a result, no first blood yet. A much slower paced game than anything we have seen yet today. Each of these teams content to feel each other out, not willing to make any crazy plays without help from the jungle. And with each of these junglers kind of looking to scale almost to level 6, it makes me think that once we get post 6, once we start fighting for vision around this Ocean Drake, then we're going to see the fireworks go down.
I mean, one of the biggest things as well, KG have not gotten first blood today. They've never got first blood. There's an undefeated team. So something to maybe show that Calamvale might be able to get an early lead in that department or KG4 to maybe change their fortunes. And we'll see how that goes. But on stage, they've never won a game where they didn't get first blood. No, where they did get first blood.
That is true, but I mean, you have to get first blood in order to win a game,
exactly.
Getting first blood in. They haven't dropped a game yet on stage. In fact, neither of these teams have, so something does have to give, and it has to give soon in our grand final matchup. We're seeing a lot of pings coming down on the bot side, actually. Almost as a case of boosted garbage nearly getting caught out, but woobi didn't want to commit to that play at the moment. As a result, FeifeiFAN are really feeling the pressure coming out of AS7, willing to concede that lane to him at the moment. A level down in the top side. Teleport has been used as well. Kelvin Grove, it's time for them to start pushing other parts of the map.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think with this lead that AS7 has got for himself, you need to start focusing towards this bot side. You need to get this Vayne behind, because that's really Calamvale's last kind of gasp back into this game. Malzahar himself cannot solo carry a game. He's not a strong enough champion to do that per se. It's boosted garbage.
Yeah, boosted garbage, dropping the Ragnar at the top is Yoxiourn, who has to flash. He's in a lot of trouble. One more auto will bring him down. Flash, first blood secured. woobi in trouble as well. Stunned under tower. That's 2 kills for Kelvin Grove.
And that's huge for Kelvin Grove. Let's put that bot lane behind, just as we were talking about before. Kai'Sa now with a free kill. It's an Ocean Dragon pre-10 minutes, which should be going over to Kelvin Grove as well, unless which one can pull off a magical steal. I think, again, that's like a misplay from woobi and Yoxiourn. You see, the Vayne and Lulu unable to really, escape from a gank. Two very squishy ranged champions. Very, unable to have a lot of movement abilities. And once they get caught out by that boosted garbage, there's not much they can really do.
Yeah, and that is first blood of our grand final going to none other than boosted garbage.
Yes, boosted garbage.
I just wanted to say that. That was just fun to say. Boosted garbage, first blood.
My God. But there we go. The Ocean Dragon does go over to Kelvin Grove, so both the laners, or all the laners in particular, will love that buff. Katarina in particular will be able to stay in the lane a little bit longer. If you don't know what the Ocean Dragon does, gives you extra health and mana regen, meaning you can stay in lane a little bit longer. And I think it's in combat now, isn't it? It's not just out of combat.
It is, yes, it is out of combat.
Oh, it is.
It is out of combat.
Well, you see,
here we go. Which one actually going to connect with that Glacial Prison onto Sponkle? The shield is up as he tries to jump to NUBBYBUB to escape. Here comes the big ultimate, but it's not enough to re-engage. Up above, boosted garbage has shown him. No, that's AS7 off of the teleport. He's already got 1 kill. That should be a double, but Sponkle steals it away. Still 2 kills for Kelvin Grove.
I mean, that's the advantage of that TP advantage you saw earlier, right? Forcing FeifeiFAN out of lane, AS7 has done, and now he's able to use his teleport to get a lead in the bot side. We saw Aurora do that in the very first match versus Kelvin Grove, but unfortunately he was able to do a nice little condemn there, getting a bit of damage on the Sponkle, but won't be enough. We've seen all in the game.
Yeah, it's not going to be a super hard all-in, but raDiEnt just content to keep chunking this Malzahar down. Can't really commit for the all-in with the ultimate still available on Soolgi, but we could be seeing a return gank later with the help from boosted garbage. I'm actually curious right now, if boosted garbage and Kelvin Grove wind up winning this game, and boosted garbage turns out to be our MVP, does that mean we get to engrave boosted garbage onto our big trophy?
Well, I'd hope so. I would really hope so, but I don't know if do the players' name get
I don't believe, unfortunately, there will be any name engraving onto this trophy, so unfortunately it won't be the boosted garbage trophy this time around.
Unlucky.
That would have been pretty fantastic. As it stands, though, Kelvin Grove off to such a fantastic start in this game. Kills across the board for everyone except for raDiEnt. Not too surprising considering these team compositions.
Yeah, I mean, they did get, the Irelia on AS7, which is one of the biggest things they've been denied. I mean, obviously, he's just showing he's so mechanically sound on this Irelia. Look at this, freezing the wave off, denying CS from FeifeiFAN, denying experience, forcing an all-in. Olaf is now on the top side as well, so this could be dangerous. This
could be very dangerous. The stun's coming down. It is riposted quite successfully and a good bit of return damage, but FeifeiFAN has to be careful. Boosted garbage was spotted on that ward, so he knows to walk away, at least for now. Which one also kind of waiting to see if anything is going to happen. Not this time around. No real chance for a return play, however, so Kelvin Grove continuing to dominate the tempo of this final match.
I mean, Kelvin Grove are very far ahead again, and 4K gold up or 3K gold up this early into the game is a huge lead to have, especially in the grand final. So AS7 again, trading with FeifeiFAN so effectively, showing this prowess in Irelia in mid lane.
Oh, that's actually a bit of a cheeky all-in coming out from Soolgi. Does force the runaway from raDiEnt, but that's such a critical ability burned by this Malzahar.
Yeah, I mean, especially if not for the kill, right? Maybe if he took some damage in the towers on Katarina, it's probably worth it, but it's better to just save that ultimate off. It's now a 80-second cooldown, which means it won't be up for another minute or so, which means you're going to have to plan this around with your Sejuani. I think, getting a kill bid is very easy with the Malzahar plus Sejuani ultimate into a combination of a lot of damage, and I think that's what you should be saving that Malz ulti for, rather than just, looking for that hopeful play, right? And if you're not comboing your abilities correctly, you're not getting the QERW, QEW again. You're not getting the maximized damage out of that combo, and you will never really get a kill on Malzahar. You don't have that one rotation sort of combination. You need to poke down a little bit with your Maleficent Visions before you're going for that big final. And again, raDiEnt just poking back on his Katarina.
Yeah, I mean, raDiEnt definitely seems like he has control in the mid lane, able to sort of go wherever this Katarina pleases. Similar situations happening in the top lane. So if you're Calamvale fans right now, you're really hoping that woobi can become online on this bot side. But as we've seen so far, it's been a lot of pressure. Soolgi Blink, and he is gone. Big solo kill out of raDiEnt.
I mean, raDiEnt's now picked up that Hextech Gunblade, and that is one of those core power spike items with Katarina. Once you get there, that's 200 damage straight up, plus the slow, which means you're able to combo your daggers, your dashes, and your abilities. Getting those electrocute procs, and of course, the death locals as well, reducing the healing. So much damage coming out of Katarina. That's why she's so strong at the moment. But one of the biggest things when you're playing into that Katarina is positioning correctly around those daggers as to not fall down to an all-in like that.
And what is quite amazing for Kelvin Grove as a whole right now, 5 kills, 1 on every single member of this team. This is everyone stepping up and saying, we want a piece of the action in this grand final. They currently have 3 leading lanes. They have a jungle who is out-tempoing his opponent. Everything is going Kelvin Grove's way right now.
Yeah, Kelvin Grove, again, undefeated so far in this game, and they're showing us why they're the best. They're also showing us why you don't give them their best champions, why you ban the Irelia, why you ban the Olaf. It's just, I mean, they're not even winning through those 2 champions. I mean, Boosted Garbage has been everywhere, and he's been doing quite a lot, but we see which one, again, just not even going for this gank from the Irelia, just towards vision covered correctly, and there's no real insight. You see the bot lane, they're going to pick up drag.
Yeah, exactly. Which one shows himself on the top side, doesn't get the gank off, and as a result, KG is able to secure the Cloud Drake, the second dragon of the game to go down for Kelvin Grove. Smart decision making. This was some of those macro plays that we felt was lacking in the semifinal. They're executing quite well. In fact, Boosted Garbage going as far to steal the blue buff as well away, but he might be in a bit of trouble. woobi looking for that condemn against the wall. Ragnarok has to be popped, but so much damage is coming down as help arrives from Kelvin Grove. Big Braum shield keeping Boosted Garbage alive, but here comes the Malzahar ult. No. It's disrupted by Sponkle. Which one with the Glacial Prison does connect, and NUBBYBUB should go down. That's 2 kills for Calamvale, and they want more. The big Katarina ultimate is not enough to completely turn around, but he does get 1 kill back. On the flip side, raDiEnt in a 1v3 situation is going to try and escape, or at least take down Soolgi, doing so much work. He does get the kill before falling himself as Boosted Garbage has returned to the fight. He's looking to get that axe throw in, gets the kill onto Yoxiourn, and which one?
No.
Oh, no chance for the double, but a huge fight for Kelvin Grove.
That could have been huge for KG for getting 4 kills to 3. I mean, all the people going down. raDiEnt's mechanics on this Katarina are nuts, man. Playing those dashes perfectly, shunpoing to the right target to the right time, and Boosted Garbage unfortunately missing that axe tox to take the kill on which one, which could have been almost a death sentence this early on in the game. I mean, the good thing is for Calamvale, they have drafted a late game scaling draft, right? They want to get this Vayne online, but Kaiser's a late game online pick as well, and Vayne is a lane counter to him, and they're not really pushing that, right? Vayne is a counter pick into Kaiser since you scale harder than her, but you also can lane into the Kaiser quite effectively. Unfortunately, he's been unable to do this. Recently, see AS7.
AS7 getting a nice little cheeky stun right there on the FeifeiFAN, who really needs to become online in this game, but it's going to be so hard for Fiora to get Calamvale back in this game, especially without teleport advantage, which is currently in Kelvin Grove's favor. Everything I'm looking at right now is just telling me Kelvin 4 is going to win this game. Kelvin Grove, number 4, is going to win this game. I like Kelvin 4. I think that should be their name. The Kelvin 4s.
I mean, there's 5 people on the team, though.
Yeah, but, I mean, one of their players' name is Boosted Garbage, so it's Kelvin 4 plus Boosted Garbage.
Kelvin 4 was really good.
I love that name. If that's not apparent by now, I think if we were going to give an award for the best name in this tournament, it is 100% going to Boosted Garbage.
I mean, they are super fire in this game. 6k up, right? 8-3 in kills, 16 minutes into the game. Rift Herald has never been picked up by either side, though, but see something might be brewing up in this top side.
Something could be happening right there. A lot of jungle attention, as well as mid laners roaming up as well. You can take a look at that map and see raDiEnt has found himself quite deep, looking for maybe to get that pick onto which one, who has instead opted to go for the Krug. So nothing will be found just yet. Calamvale, they're already having to play so far back and play so far defensively, and I like how Kelvin Grove is looking to take the fight to them with these deep rewards. I expect this vision to get pushed further and further in, and eventually KG should be making a play for that Rift Herald.
Yeah, I mean, they need to look for this Rift Herald to try and crack them into the lane tower. I mean, the Katarina's been shoving in quite a bit, but Katarina is that very much shove her own pattern as well, right? She wants to get out, she wants to get leads for kills. She doesn't really win through CS, doesn't really win through gold, which, I mean, she is now, right? But you need to get those kills to generate those leads.
The Void Seeker misses, but the teleport is still coming through. Here comes AS7. Yoxiourn's already dead, so AS7 is actually looking at woobi. The woobi cannot escape with a big hit from the Glacial Bite coming from Sponkle, and they want more. NUBBYBUB trying to jump onto which one isn't going to get there. raDiEnt as well, looking to chase deep. In the end, the members of Calamvale will escape, but not before losing 2.
Yeah, I mean, you can see again, AS7 is so much mechanical prowess on this Irelia, auto-canceling perfectly with the team at, resetting her Qs, and just such a strong player on this one champion. And raDiEnt as well has been playing fantastically on this Katarina.
Yeah, this has been a standout performance out of Kelvin Grove right now. High kill participations across the board. I'm actually looking at Sponkle. 80% kill participation already in this game, 18 minutes in. That just shows how much priority Kelvin Grove has not only put on the bot side, but how impactful Sponkle has been with his roaming and his positioning. This is the performance of the supports I was expecting to see out of one of them, and it looks like Sponkle is the one who's kind of grabbed the bull by its proverbial horns.
I mean, it says it, it's trust in Sponkle. He will be the one to carry you through. 8 of the 10 kills have been, he's had a major hand in, and, with 7 deaths in the bot side, you can kind of see, where these issues are coming from. I mean, it is very prevalent. I think the Vayne and Lulu are 2 big holes in Calamvale's strategy. I think that lane is just too passive and not aggressive enough to really take advantage of this early game that they need to play on. Kelvin Grove's weakness is very clearly the early game. That's how SPS got ahead in those finals. That's how Somerset beat him in the quarterfinals. You need to take them to these guys early. You need to go, hey, look, we can smash this out. But once they start scaling, once their champions start coming online, they seem to just team fight very, very effectively, and their skirmishing is quite strong as well. Due to the fact they all play these dueling type champions, and not being allowed to have those is, something huge for Calamvale if they want to win this series, and they have a lot of work to do in this game in particular if they want to win.
Yeah, definitely they have a lot of work to climb back into this one, but Calamvale do have that late game scaling team composition, and sometimes Kelvin Grove might look a bit weaker late into games. The problem though with doubling down this hard at late game scaling though is you have to get there, and unfortunately I just don't really see the answers just yet unless if Kelvin Grove are unable to push the advantage. AS7 already going all in, doesn't need the ultimate to connect. Another solo kill for this Irelia.
It was just a zoning ultimate with the animation cancel from the Irelia there. Picks up another solo kill on the top side. FeifeiFAN finally going down. He's done so well to survive, but every member on Calamvale 0-1, and every member on Kelvin Grove 2 or more kills.
Yeah, this is not looking good for the red side as we have passed that 20-minute mark, which means it is now time for Baron Nashor to enter the Rift. Kelvin Grove already have that top tower down, so it tells me they should be able to establish that deeper vision and start looking to play around it, especially if no one's actually going to react to this topside push. AS7 is actually going to get 2 towers off of that 1 kill. This is huge for Kelvin Grove. Soolgi is going to step up and try and force him away, but cannot save the tower.
Yeah, I mean, at 20 minutes into that game, the death time was on FeifeiFAN with that top tower already so low. Means that AS7 just simply pushes up, grabs that extra tower, and with 2 towers down on the top side, that means that red side jungle is 100% Kelvin Grove's, and it's going to be very hard for Calamvale to get control over this Baron.
It will definitely, but I feel it's something that Calamvale cannot afford to give up.
Definitely not.
Should Kelvin Grove look to force the issue. They're already sitting at a 10k lead, 20 minutes into this one. A dominating performance thus far out of the blue side. Will they be able to keep it going? Yoxiourn actually might be in a bit of trouble, kind of caught out by Sponkle. Ultimates are being dropped, and so much damage out of NUBBYBUB. They've already got one. woobi trying to run away, trying to condemn defensively, but he can't escape the stun. A double kill for the NUBBYBUB.
I mean, NUBBYBUB on this cast has got his Rage Play completed already, which means he's doing double the damage, right? He's getting those on-hit stacks effectively much quicker, and means he will be struggling Vayne will be struggling to output the same amount of damage. This Baron will go down so quickly as well, doing that % max HP damage, off 2 or 3 autos, which means that he's going to be proccing that second skin and taking that Baron down very quickly. It's going to be very scary for Calamvale if Kelvin Grove can secure this first Baron very quickly, and it means it's going to be very hard for them to even resist a push, let alone the team fight coming out of Kelvin Grove.
Yeah, it's just looking harder and harder for Calamvale to turn it around. Really, what I feel this red side needs is that one big team fight.
Yeah.
That one fight to turn things around, because if I'm looking at a straight up 5v5 team fight, I'm always going to lean towards the team with the Lulu and with the Sejuani, and even with the Vayne to a lesser extent, because there's a lot of crowd control and a lot of damage that they're going to be able to throw down, but they have to find that right fight. Boosted Garbage, I feel, can definitely disrupt it with the Ragnarok, and if Soolgi gets caught out again, that would be terrible, but nope, raDiEnt is not able to secure the kill. Actually, will get pushed back a bit. NUBBYBUB arriving in this mid lane, though, to help bring down that last tier 1.
Yeah, and this should be the last auto coming through from NUBBYBUB to secure that next tower in the mid lane. Soolgi unfortunately got stomped in this matchup against the Katarina, which is one he should be favored in, and going down this much and, being unable to use the tools you drafted is really disheartening if you're a Calamvale fan. you know, they drafted these big ultimates. You want to use the Sejuani ultimate, you want to use the Malzahar ulti, and of course you want to use the abilities from Yoxiourn as well to really do more and more and more. So, you know, going down early on means it's, not being able to get the team fight where you can use those ultimates early on and really start abusing what you drafted your comp around makes it very hard to win a game.
Void Seeker just fighting wide right that time around. If you're Calamvale as well, you really need to be careful of the initiation tools coming out of Kelvin Grove. It doesn't look like they have too much, but Sponkle with those Glacial Fissures has actually been a fantastic engage tool for this team. Usually Glacial Fissure you see used almost more defensively or for peel, but when that's the only source of engage, you should be trying to play a bit more around it. That said, which one believes he may have caught out boosted garbage. They're going to get that stun in place. Ragnarok still available, will get used now, and that will force Calamvale back. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, however, Kelvin Grove content to trade that top pressure for yet another tower.
I think he maybe could have held the Ragnarok until the Malzahar pressed his ultimate or got another cooldown before he had to use that to get away. We see AS7 in the top side got pressuring onto another tower here, and the ultimate from FeifeiFAN.
Yeah, big ultimate challenge being dropped from FeifeiFAN. Is looking for this solo kill right now, but he has to be careful. A lot of damage going both ways, but FeifeiFAN is losing this trade. Yoxiourn there with the wild growth, able to turn around, but here comes raDiEnt. The target is FeifeiFAN, who gets deleted. My goodness, and raDiEnt wants more. Yoxiourn already gone to the 2v1 going raDiEnt's way. A stun, they want more. woobi and raDiEnt definitely fighting at it. A big ultimate coming out of Soolgi is only going to buy more time for Kelvin Grove to arrive. Which one is going to be the one paying the price as the Glacial Fissure goes straight through Calamvale's hopes and dreams? A big double kill for Kelvin Grove.
And that's 5 kills, an ace, clean ace going straight over to Kelvin Grove. AS7 on this Irelia is nuts, and raDiEnt on this Katarina is devastating. There is nothing Calamvale can do. They just ran in one by one and just died. FeifeiFAN went for a pick on the Irelia, unfortunately didn't get the grand challenge completed, didn't get that life well you get after you kill the 4 vital stacks, and Kelvin Grove are in a great position to win this game. Boosted garbage already on the Baron.
Yeah, but he's kind of buying some time before the rest of the team arrives. I think he's not that far ahead that he can solo this Baron. Definitely trying to buy some time. Sponkle has arrived, so maybe the two of them might get something going. Here comes the rest. AS7, NUBBYBUB, helping take that Baron down perhaps. Yep, they will be committing to it. Going back to that past team fight, however, the fact that Calamvale was unable to get any return kills and they got aced, it just has to be demoralizing. We're looking at a 15k gold lead, 25 minutes in. This game is all Kelvin Grove. And if you're for Calamvale, maybe you have to start thinking, okay, what do we do next game?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think if next game Calamvale need to ban this Irelia, ban the Olaf. These are their 2 comfort champions, just get it off them and draft some early game, right? woobi played a really great Xayah game. Try go for a Xayah Rakan. Go for your comfort, go for what you're really good at. Don't try to play a safe comp. Make sure you play around what is good, right? Ban out the top lane. Get AF7 off comfort so you have a winning matchup in the top side, and you even if it's not winning, at least let FeifeiFAN go even, because he just got stomped this game by the Irelia. If not in kills, in CS and pressure, there was just no comparison for how well this Irelia does, and this is why he's a one trick. He's just so good at this champion that you just cannot let him have it.
Yeah, but continuing on for this game as well, the story has definitely been how well Kelvin Grove has sort of taken advantage of any sort of skirmish opportunity, as well as any map opportunity. Like, anytime they can secure an objective, anytime they can play the opposite end of the map, they have been able to do so. As a result, they have 4 dragons, they have the Baron, they have the kill lead, they have the tower lead, everything going Kelvin Grove's way. As with this Baron, they are looking to do that 4-1 split push. AS7, he is strong enough to split push on his own on the top side. The rest of the team, they can siege together on the bot side. Calamvale, what do they do to stop this?
I mean, there isn't really much you can do, right? They've got the Baron Siege, they've got so much damage, and you need at least 2 or 3 people to answer the Irelia, right? The Irelia will just charge through anyways. He'll dive that Vayne if it stays there, and you're always going to have a numbers advantage if you're Kelvin Grove. raDiEnt and AS7 are so strong that there isn't a single member from Calamvale that can match up in the side.
It's not just those two, though. We're looking at a 6-1 and 5 now player coming out of Kelvin Grove. The Glacial Prison does not connect. That was a serious X-Smithy type situation, and with that, another kill secured. Yes, it was Yoxiourn the Lulu, but it's still a 5v4 situation, and Calamvale have to be careful because one misstep will cost them this game number 1. Boosted Garbage looking for a possible opportunity to get on Soolgi. Up top, AS7 is able to help take down a tower, and here comes that engage. woobi is already down so low as the grand challenge has been dropped. in a 2v1 situation. AS7 already has the tower. He has FeifeiFAN as well. Which one is not going to win this 1v1 despite the health bar being in his favor, especially with the rest of Kelvin Grove rallying to around this Irelia. Nexus Tower's under threat right now. I believe they have taken half of the health on one. A couple more autos would have done it, but only Sponkle was there. Actually getting chased down by Yoxiourn right now. Going ahead and try and push him back. There goes that last tier 3 tower. The inhibitors and 2 Nexus Towers are all what stand for Calamvale.
I mean, this is huge for Kelvin Grove, and this is dire straits for Calamvale. 20 kills to 3, 57k to 38k. There's really no hope in this game for Calamvale unless they can get some magical team fight, maybe steal the Baron or just do anything. But I think, you know, Calamvale really needs to think and look towards the next game, right? They think, what went wrong this game? Well, we gave the Diamond player his one trick, right? I think that's the biggest area you look to improve on. Get rid of the Irelia. Don't let AS7 get that champion again, because he has proven now definitively on stage that he is a very, very good Irelia player and should not get that if you're willing to win this game.
And look at the items that are now coming out of Kelvin Grove after that reset. You have 3 items sitting on raDiEnt. You have 3 items sitting on NUBBYBUB. You have nearly 4 items on AS7. Like, this is just going to be, unfortunately for Calamvale, if they pick the wrong fight, a complete wash. So much pressure is going to be put on Witchman right now to nail this Glacial Prison, but on who? Who do you hit? Because everyone is going to do so much damage.
I mean, I think you just have to get NUBBYBUB and hopefully just focus towards AS7. But you got raDiEnt in the backline's going to one-shot everybody. There is just real no way you win this team fight, because throwing your ultimate on anyone but the 2 backline carries.
Here we go. That Soolgi is the target, and he has already gone. Glacial Prison is coming through, but it's not going to be able to make the big save this time around. Look at raDiEnt go, destroying that backline just as you said. That's 4 members down. FeifeiFAN is the last one standing. He'll retreat to the fountain, but it's not going to be enough. We're seeing the Zhonya's be used. A golden finish for a golden-looking team. Kelvin Grove looking to advance 1-0 in our grand final.
Yeah, Kelvin Grove 1-0 up now. The Nexus finally explodes. They'll be moving on to the game 2 of the grand final, 1-0 up, and Calamvale have a lot of improvements to make for game 2.
Yeah, Calamvale, unfortunately, not the performance they wanted, but if you are a Kelvin Grove student or fan, this is exactly what you want to see. Look at those happy faces on that side right there, because they know they have just dominated this first game.
Yeah, it's one more game, and that's it. They will be the Queensland League of Legends high school champions, and it's this final moment for how well they can perform on this final stage. It was a fantastic game out of AS7, absolutely dominated in that Irelia. NUBBYBUB played a great Kaiser in that bot lane, and raDiEnt in that mid lane did really, really well to just, you know, force the whole map. I think there's not a single player on Kelvin Grove that you can fault that game. I think they all played flawlessly, and I think they're looking very strong going to this next game.
This is the Kelvin Grove that struck fear into the hearts of all the teams throughout the regular season. This is that undefeated monster that you heard whispers on the wind, especially us in the casting booth when we never actually got to see him on stream until today. This is the Kelvin Grove I was expecting to see, and they looked fantastic. You know the phrase win lane, win game? Times that by 3, because they won all 3 lanes, and they made that game look easy.
Times that by 4, because it's Kelvin Grove 4, baby. Going all the way to our finals. But we will unfortunately be back in just a second. We'll take a break in between Game 1 and Game 2, and hopefully we'll see who can come back in just a moment. But before we go a break, we will be doing replays of that final game.
We will be doing some replays of this game. I mean, let's just take a look at some of Kelvin Grove's highlights in this one. We're going to start on the bot side, where they turned this fight around, I believe.
Yeah, that's a great early on fight from Kelvin Grove. Calamvale came in for an early gank, but AS7 had a TP onto the backline. They had a 2-man Vanguard's edge, and this is the fight that almost took down all 3 members. This was a huge lead in the bot, and that's what got NUBBYBUB started to snowball. It's also got the Ocean Drake when it just spawned after this as well, and that was one of the key moments to kind of start getting him through the game. I think another big moment was that huge little skirmishing fight they had towards the Baron, right? Well, the Baron wasn't up here. It was just before the... Yeah, it was in the mid lane, wasn't it?
There was a few skirmishy fights.
There was a lot of skirmishy fights.
There was a lot of skirmishy fights, and all of them seemed to go KG's way.
Yeah.
Which, if you're Calamvale, maybe, and you're running a Scaling Cup in the future, perhaps look to not try and contest a lot of these skirmishes as we are moving to our next replay right now. This was a bit more still in that early game. This was another one of those crazy sort of skirmish fights.
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest thing here is that, Boosted Garbage gets caught out a little bit going for the blue buff, but his whole team is there to rally behind him. They had fully priority in mid, so raDiEnt was able to get out early, and raDiEnt landed a huge 4-man Death Locust. Even though everyone on Kelvin Grove goes so far down, he comes in 1v4. All their cooldowns have already been burnt. A nice flash jumpo there onto the Vayne to get a kill down, and from here it just lands so much damage with those dagger resets, and using those jumpos very effectively to dodge damage.
Yeah, definitely
This was
strong
a nice little
play
sniper
out of
kill as
raDiEnt.
well.
Oh, that was filthy, and it looked like he was going to secure the kill on which one as well. Tried to predict the Sejuani to go left, instead Sejuani goes right. You come across looking a little silly, but after that first axe, it doesn't matter. He already looked stylish with that first one.
He hit the 2-man axe, got a kill, and I think, that was the big fight where you just go, damn, KG4 is super far ahead now. This Katarina, once she got that gunblade, she looked a bit shaky early on, and I think the Malzahar, Soolgi in particular, didn't look very comfortable on that Malzahar. Didn't look like he kind of knew how to position against an aggressive assassin, which is, one of the key things you need to learn how to do on a control mage, right? His pull is very much like the Akali, the Vladimir, these more aggressive, do a lot of damage, dive into the backline mid laners, and Malzahar is something you play more like an AD carry, right? You sit with your AD carry, you sit back, you use your E, you use your Q, and you use that the slow you get once you build the Irelia Crystal Scepter to kind of give yourself a little bit of kiting and not let things get on top of you. And we're moving into our final replay, I believe, for that first game. It should be the team fight around the top side. Yeah, well, I know. It'll be another one of the bot side skirmishes because there was a lot. And this was just raDiEnt just essentially blitzing everyone. This fight did start a bit earlier when it looked as if AS7 was caught out because FeifeiFAN was going in so deep. But another case of Kelvin Grove just turning things around. Look at NUBBYBUB just coming flying out of left field, literally doing so much damage onto the front line and then the back line as well, securing that double kill. And that was the first ace of the game. Yeah, I mean, that was when AS7 just went like, this is my Irelia mechanics. Obviously got caught out in that 1v1 and turned it around. Did so much damage onto FeifeiFAN and then kited out, waited for his team to come and then re-engage. And that's one of the key hallmarks of a really good player, right? Understanding what are my timings, most players who are, bronze and silver just go, you see the teammates coming, you just keep fighting, they're going to be here in a second. You don't realize you should kite it out, wait, get those abilities going, get your cooldowns back up, and then re-engage when the rest of your team's there to reinforce it and maybe catch your opponents off guard. Yep, those are definitely things you can do, but at the end of the day, it matters not except for the results, which is Kelvin Grove 4-1. Kelvin Grove 41, Calamvale 0 at the moment, but this is game 1 of a best-of-3 series. There is still time for Calamvale to turn it around in 13 minutes time, so please do not go anywhere. More grand final coming at you.